So, I think we're live. Feedback in chat, please, if you can hear me well, if you can understand me. So, yeah, we are here for another round of F2 racing. Yeah, today we're driving around, as you can see. And yeah, very excited for this one. We had great races last week. With Men's in the feature race, absolutely strategic masterclass from him. Stormed through to take the feature race victory. But in the sprint race, it wasn't so lucky for him as he, finished last. So, yeah, that was not the ideal race for him. But Darnell won it. So, yeah, also crazy sprint race that we've had. So yeah, should also be a good 2 round of races as the drivers are running up. So I think we are good to go. And yeah, hit straight into sprint qualifying, I guess. So there we are, Spa-Francorchamps circuit, 1 lap sprint or 1-shot qualifying. We have Race Roller leading the way from Crispy in the championship. So yeah, Darnell is 3rd in the standings with UK Beast Assassin in 4th. UK Beast Assassin actually came close to win the Hungarian round, but then unfortunately for him got penalties, so he didn't win that round. He actually dropped to 7th, I think. He also achieved that result in the feature race, so pretty consistent, but 2 very different kind of races. And yeah, we need to see today what the drivers are looking for today. I think track limits in the 1-shot qualifying and also the races. So yeah, we need to see what happens here. As the drivers not ready yet, just want to get their setup right or something like that, and then yeah, we'll go with the drivers and see who can take pole position for this feature race here. As trying to look to the chat, so yeah, if you have any questions or whatever in the chat, let me know it. I'm alone today, so yeah. Theme pace for pole says punter. Okay, we'll see. As the drivers are now running up, and we go to 1-shot qualifying. We of course activating everything here as Van Doorn comes to the first corner here. Very hard braking point. You definitely want to get that exit right here, because a very long straight is waiting here as you come to Radion and Eau Rouge here. As Race Roller currently leading out of the first turn. So yeah, we look at him here as he takes Eau Rouge now. Yeah, first DRS, 3rd or 2nd if you not counting at first. DRS straight in, which is of course start finish. Very hard braking point as Race Roller Purple obviously in the first sector as he is in P1. There's a very hard duel for P2 as Dylan overtakes him now, so we go with, oh, Race Roller dropped a couple of positions there, maybe made a mistake or something like that on the exit. So we have P1, the Trident driver, I think, here. As he comes now to the fast left-hander, this corner will be really important also in the race. If you get it right, you can gain a lot of time to your competitors, as we have Smoke already here in this fast left-hander given up. So that will be last place for him, unfortunately, in the feature race here at Spa-Francorchamps. As we come now in the last sector, very fast, Dylan still leads in front of Crispy and UKB's Assassin. So Race Roller Championship leader really struggling, it seems so, here at Spa. Men's last feature race winner also down in 15th. So yeah, we have the Nell taking the lead here in the final sector, so maybe has a setup that is quite good on the straights. So yeah, we need to see last chicane. And Dylan seems to have taken it here. Oh no, Estadil just pitched the line, oh my god. Very close finish as the Nell takes pole position. It's an Univirtuosi 1-2. Dylan makes it P3 as UKB's Assassin makes it P4. In the Charoux here as Division P5 for the HWA Race Lab. Race Roller only managed 6th here in the outing. As I broadly say, how I do join the league? Well, you need to message our head of the leagues, our league owners. Then they will set you up for a practice race, and then you will get told which league you are in, or if you want F2, or there's only F2 league, you obviously going to be F2. But yeah, we have Darnell taking pole position. Yeah, very unfortunate for Crispy and Dylan, but Darnell just nip and tuck in it here. Really, really close. Yeah. As he says, how old are you? Okay, I'm 17 years old. Yeah. Oh, I haven't. SLR 7th, Solana 8th, Jam in P9, and oh, I was too slow of reading everything. So yeah. Oh, we have a wet Spa race. That should be interesting. So yeah, we need to throw the quality results away here a bit, and as we go into the race, very much unknown what's going to happen. We can see we can just make a roundup here as Dodgy finished P10, Ham in P11, Badgy Fan in P12, Fan passed, not quite got pole position, but P13 for him. Campos, last week's feature race winner, takes P14, OG James in P15, Hypers in P16, Van Dorn and Smoke forming the last row of this wonderful F2 grid here. So yeah, there we go, formation lap. They obviously need to get as much tire temperature as possible into the tires, but not overheat them in the wet. It can also be pretty painful if you overheat the tires. So we need to see which driver can do this, as we have 18 drivers lined up for today. So quite full the grid today, as yeah, there will hopefully be some interesting stuff going on in the first couple of laps. I think the Univirtuosis want to obviously keep their lead and fend off SLR Dylan and UKB's Assassin. Race Roller only P6, so maybe looking for a bit of a damage limitation, as Brunit also in the chat. Hello Brunit, just a German colleague, as he said, Spa in the wet is wonderful. I can agree with that, should be on for a good race. Yeah, we just need to see, you know. I don't want to pick a winner here, as there's obviously so much unknown going into this race. But yeah, the two Universalis is good in qualifying, but Dylan, I feel pretty bad from it. It's so tight. They're at the front, the three top drivers recovered only less than a tenth of a second, so pretty painful for Dylan. He led out of the first turn, out of the last turn, sorry, but couldn't get the exit right and just felt short of that crispy and Universalis sandwich. Yeah, as they come down to the last sector, this is the last chance to hook their tires up nicely for the race here. As maybe outside the top 10, some will gamble if it dries up. So, Epsilon, okay, Brunit, copy that, understood. As we will now approach the grid, obviously try to get the best camera spot possible, that we can have a good shot into the first turn as LP Smoke approaching. Oh no, actually, Universalis, no, MP Motorsport car. It's Men's, the last car approaching to the grid. Don't know what happened there. Maybe spun it or something like that. But he shouldn't be the last one that approached the grid. We, as Darnell, standing quite a long time in the grid slot here. So we're waiting obviously now for the 5 red lights ahead of this F2 Grand Prix here. So there we have 5 red lights. And we are on the way at the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix here. Pretty calm stop by everybody as Dylan holds the lead in front of Crispy here. Trying to go up the inside, we go on board with the through here. LP Smoke, the last one, coming out of the first corner. There's no racing as we have Yellow Flags men seem to have spun it here. Yes, has he got front wing damage? I don't think he has. As we go to Nicky here, they'll... Oh, we have Dodgy out of the Grand Prix. We didn't see what happened there. We'll go on board maybe with Wednesday. We have a virtual safety car. That is out. So a bit of rest for the drivers to calm down a bit. So yeah, pretty eventful start there. Darnell holds firm, still only with Truzy 1-2. As we have a couple of change-ups, let's see. There we have the position change-up. Men's lost 3. We have SLR Van Dorn going from 17th, I think, to 13th on the grid. Up front, Race Rollers gained 2 positions, so a very good start here also by him. As obviously virtual safety car is now out, no overtaking. As the drivers can have a bit of a rest. And we have Darnell, no! Speeding on the virtual safety car as Crispy also getting a penalty. As Crispy runs right in shock of that and Dylan takes P2. What a... oh my god, oh my goodness me. 2 only virtuosos completely throwing away the win here. As Race Roller will be delighted in the car now as he sees the 2 only virtuosos getting drive-through penalties. Goodness me, as Flags. In sector 3, Harpers, I think, made a mistake or something like that. He might have front wing damage. Yes, he has. Half the front wing missing. But yeah, we have Dylan cuts the chicane. Run a bit wide here as Dylan sits. Darnell obviously sets the fastest lap of the race. As we have Crispy and Dylan now racing side by side through turn 1 here. Really going for it. As Dylan a bit wide Race Roller looks to pass both of them here up the inside of the first corner here. As the 2 Universalis are holding the places here at front as we have another spinner here. I think it's Menzo now, the last week's winner here. So unfortunate for him here. But yes, we have Division try to go up the inside of UKB's Assassin, but can't quite the move stick here, stays in 6th place. UKB's Assassin just stays in 5th in front of him. But yeah, we have the 2 Virtuosis getting drive-through penalties. Just unfortunate for them, as will be now into the net race lead, I think so. LP Smoke going up the inside of SLR Fempest here. As he's sick here, obviously after the disappointing qualifying session, he wants to make up ground quickly here. Which I think he does by the first laps. So yeah, Edson Menz gets a 3-second time penalty. Jam also. As I said, time penalties will be crucial in this race. Wet conditions obviously a bit more difficult, I should say, to drive. So yeah, drivers need to be careful, as UKB's Assassin is right on the back here of Dylan. Obviously trying to pass him as he's racing him proper for position. Race Roller can now sit back behind the 2 Virtuosi because they will fall back anyways after the drive-through penalties. But UKB's Assassin cannot sit back, as we have Division going up the inside of UKB's Assassin here. Can't quite make the move stick. There's a little bit of contact as Crispy pits to serve his drive-through penalty, I think. But yeah, we have UKB's Assassin in 4th now. As we have quite a few drivers obviously getting positions because Crispy gives his position up. Crispy will be right at the back, I think. Yes, he is. Only Menz and Hypers are behind him. That spun and had front wing damage. Maybe go on board with James now. Now we have Division. Try to go for a move on UKB's Assassin around the outside here. We go on board with the HWO Wasteland drivers. They still side by side. They're really going for this slide. You get a bit pushed wide here by UKB's Assassin. No, sorry. As he goes off the track now. Maybe SLR Nikki try to gain advantage out of this battle here. But UKB's Assassin brilliantly defends and stays in 4th place. As we have Menz. No, not dodgy. Menz pitting. What a pity for him. After winning the last feature race. So far down now, as we have Ham going for the middle sector. Touched here by Sylvan at the back, but makes the move stick. In the middle sector, really quite unusual to overtake there, but Ham really got his elbows out here, and yeah, got P8 from Southerner. Southerner also great performance from him in the last sprint race. So he obviously wants to carry that form into this feature race now. As we have Van Dorn right on his back here, try to go for a move around the outside into the last chicane. Dornell serves his drive-through penalty. So they're now really going around the outside, maybe going a bit too wide here. Oh, we have Zivana going in on Ham. Sorry, a bit messed up here from my side. But Ham has to defend around the outside. So into the first turn. It is Silverna takes the place back again from Hamilton. No, they're not side by side. So someone I think is lagging here. As they go side by side to Rouge? No, just Hamilton holds on to that place here. As he has to go and cut Rouge here. So maybe that will give Silverna just the run he needs to get back past. As he indeed pulling alongside and try to make the move here. Under braking, but can't make the move here. As Van Dorn tried to get into that battle. So really nice battle here for 7th place between those guys, as OG James picks up his first 3-second penalty as Ham goes wide here into that long left-hander, as we see the cars sliding around trying to get traction into their cars. Really great battling here between those guys, as we need to jump on board with Darnell, who makes his way through the grid now, obviously angry of himself, I imagine, because he got that drive-through penalty. Comfortably leading this Grand Prix as Crispy picks up his first 3-second penalty. Yeah, the two Univirtuosis, they will really be disappointed, I think, with that one. As I think we have UKB's Assassin going past SLR Dylan here. We are right on board with them. Yeah, trying to go up the inside in the long left-hander. Oh, what a big crash! Ooh, as Division and Dylan spun out. They're going side by side. Oh, what a crash, mate. As we have both of them front wing damage, the race pretty much ruined. Ah, careful, guys. Careful, careful, careful. As we have SLR Nikki now in third place, trying to go attack UKB's Assassin here. As UKB's Assassin went right, obviously Nikki trying to get that track position here. That's second place. Oh my goodness me, this race only 5 laps old, and a bit of a banger. Yeah, oh my goodness me, I'm losing my voice already. I have half of a race to go and a sprint race ahead. So yeah, it will be interesting how it turns out. We have UKB's Assassin Nikki side by side. No, not go with Race Roller on board. We have still side by side and maybe going on board with the RT driver, but UKB's Assassin just holds on to it. As we're also up the inside of Ham here, as Badgifan picks up his first 3-second penalty, I think. But yeah, what a few opening laps we have got here. My goodness me, really interesting to watch as Nikki picks up 3 seconds. Van Dorn, 11 places that he made up. So yeah, I think he will be quite happy with that. But not the end of this journey so far, as he duels with Jam. The two combination here, Ham and Jam. 4P4. And Nikki ahead has a 3-second penalty, so it could be from 17th place to podium. What a race that will be for SLR Mandorn here. As we have the two Univirtuosis trying to make their way through the field. We go on board with Crispy here. Try to line up a move on LP Smoke. LP Smoke crashed out of qualifying. He also wants to make his way through the grid. Now we have Crispy really close. And indeed he pulls alongside of that Prema Racing driver and he goes past. So good move around the outside here from Crispy. As we have Van Dorn, no! We just spoke about him. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Van Dorn here. As he made up so many places and tried to go for a move on Ham, I think so. And then maybe went a bit too aggressive. I don't know, I don't have seen it. We were on board with Crispy there, but will be quite interesting to see if he has front wing damage. If he has, that will be a shame for him here. As I think we go on board with Dornell. He too tried to make his way up as his teammate Crispy got a drive-through penalty on the virtual safety car, speeding on the virtual safety car. That was the reason for the penalty. As we have Crispy try to make his way further up the grid. Maybe nudges the Veggie fan a bit wide, but got place, or someone spun it. SLR Van Dorn, no, into the wall. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that he made up so much positions. Then after that he just gone backwards. Well, what a shame for him. As we have Crispy and Dylan side by side going through there. Crispy stays in front, or gains that place here, I should say, on SLR Dylan. But he has now quite a big gap to make up. 8.2 seconds to Southerner. In P6, who tries to make a move on Ham here. We have quite a lot of action going on. Quite difficult to have the view of that, as we have Southerner around the outside of Ham. Can't quite make the move stick. Maybe line up here for a move. As you can be, Assassin sets the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, so much drama going on here in the race. I don't know. I don't know what I have to say about this. Just absolutely mighty. As we have Smoke pulling around the outside of Badgie here. Badgie obviously try to force LP Smoke as wide as he probably can, and he does it. He stays in front of LP Smoke, but I don't think for long, as LP Smoke really in the back of that MP Motorsport car. As they had now this long straight. LP Smoke again pulling a side by side. He goes around the outside. Again, as he tried also in the first time, but this time maybe works out better for him. They're still side by side, really going for a division. That's the fastest lap of the race. Try to get a bit of a switchback here in Badgie here. There's LP Smoke now down the inside this time, but it seems that Badgie just stays in front. No, he's not staying in front. But at least he is. My goodness, titanic battles here between LP Smoke and Badgie. They're side by side with the fast left hander. Who's gonna win this battle between those two? Unbelievable, as LP Smoke goes off the track, and in doing so, Badgie stays in front. My goodness me. Hell of a racing here between those two. As we have Darnell and Dylan going for it in the middle sector. The middle sector, quite a popular spot to overtake. At least for this F2 drivers, it seems so. As they are now going into sector 3. One of the fastest, if not the fastest sector on this track. There are obviously only 3, but with sector 1 probably up there. As they go not quite side by side, and Darnell takes the place of Dylan. Dylan seems to not have the pace in the wet, as he has gone down 6 places. So maybe something crazy will happen, but I don't see that something crazy will happen. We had something crazy happen again enough. And we had today some crazy duels. As we have this duel, they're nearly 5 wide here. Unbelievable. This battle from, I think, SLR Fempest to the MP Motorsport car, which is OG James. We have 5 cars in one battle. Unreal here. They're really going for it. As I think Smoke pulls out of the slipstream. Try to get Fempest here. As behind there, also side by side. A bit of a touch here. As Fempest spins out and loses obviously 4 positions. They are all very close together. As Van Doorn tried to make his way up the grid after his 2 spins, and he does so already into the top 10 again. He has made up 7 places. Hopefully I have mentioned it now. I've mentioned it before that he might have 11 or 10 places. Then he just gone backwards. Hopefully that will be the case this time around. Hopefully he will be holding on again. Or holding on this time. He didn't hold on to it last time, so maybe he can get it a bit cleaner this time. As we have SLR Nikki try to go for the lead here. It is the battle for the race lead. Pulls out, round the outside. Can't quite make the move stick here. As Race Brother goes a bit defensive. Both of us made up 5 places. who have made up 5 places. As I now come to the first turn, no dive bomb, no anything spectacular from Nicky here. Obviously he has that 3-second penalty, so he needs to get past the race roller quickly if he wants to have a real shot at that race victory, of course. As Daniel sets the fastest lap of the race, he is now caught up to his teammate. So maybe there will be some Felipe is faster than you movement here. As we have the vision spun it. He's 15th anyways, out of the points. But here comes Nicky around the outside on a race roller. And he seems to have done it. Yes, he's a brilliant move there around the outside. And we have Nicky taking lead now. Let's see if he can pull the gap to a race roller now. 3 seconds I think he has. As Badgie picks up another penalty. So yeah, that will be interesting to see. As yeah, he has 3-second penalty. So he needs to get that 3 seconds quickly. 4 laps to go. So he needs to get a move on now. But he has the pace. He showed it by passing race order actually, who controlled the race after the Univirtuosi's served their stop-go penalties. We have movement going on at the back. No, that's only because someone pits, okay. As Ham picks up a 3-second penalty. There are quite a few penalties now coming in. So drivers really are going for it now. As they obviously, the end of the race is approaching, so they want to get a bit of a move on and see what is still possible for them. As we have, ooh, Crispy nearly spins out of the race. Menz picks up the 3-second penalty. As I just said that. Have we any battling apart from this one? We have OG James behind his teammate, a Badgie fan. We have Jam here, pit. I don't know. I don't think it's this. I don't think there's a need for a stop here. I don't think there's no reason to pit. But maybe he has front wing damage or something. As Crispy also comes in. Dylan also comes in. Or you need to make a pit stop in the feature race. They're sticking on the slick tires. Oh, that is of course a reason to go into the pits. That is very interesting because yeah, obviously Crispy, Smoke, Dylan, Tempest, they were only going backwards. Or Crispy, went backwards obviously after his penalty. So maybe he can gamble a bit. LP Smoke, Tempest, Dylan also went backwards to the race, so maybe they can gamble on the slick tire now. And yeah, maybe we see another strategic masterclass as Crispy picks up a penalty. And we need to see that gap now from Crispy to Jam, I think, to see if the slicks are quicker or not. As Fempest comes to the pits. Also for dry tires, so yeah, the gamblers know which way to go. As we have OG James and Badgie Fan still fighting it out now for P8. As some in front of them pitted, so they're now both into points. I think the MP Motorsport team will be very happy with that. As Nicky has already 1.5 seconds gap, so he's very fast on that wet tire. I think he can win this one if he can pull that gap. As we have Rachel pitting, UK Beast Assassin also coming on waters with Sylvander. Sylvander comes in, as does Hamilton. My goodness me, this race has taken a quite dramatic turn as Nicky obviously needs to stay out if he wants to win this race. We have quite a race on, and with only 3 laps to go, the race has got a complete shake-up as Dornell tried to stay out. As we have Van Dorn, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As we have yellow flags for Fempest, I think, in Sector 2, as we have DRS enabled, so now it is the right time to change the slick tires. Nicky, he is so far out in the lead. Can he win this one? Can he hold on to it? As Darnell obviously got nothing to lose after that drive-through penalty he served at the start of this race. Badgie fan also coming in, as is Van Dorn also speeding in the pit lane for him. So yeah, we're on board with Nicky. Try to see if he can hold on to it. Race Roller obviously will be praying that these soft tires will work out for him. But I don't think he's closing the gap enough for now. Maybe the track will get better, or I think will get better. Now he's gaining a bit more time on Darnell. Yeah, he's gaining. He's gaining quite a lot, I think, as yeah. So much 3 seconds penalty, so much 3 second penalty are coming in. As we have someone spinning an MP Motorsport car. So I think it's OG James. No, it's not OG James. Maybe Badgie fan that has spun it. Obviously cold tires for him. So try to get maybe a bit more temperature into that slick tire. As we have Race Roller 8.1 second behind Darnell. As Darnell decides to come into the pits now. Nicky needs to stay out if he wants to win this race. Darnell has given up, so he doesn't think that the wet tires are good enough for him, as he's the last one to pit onto the slick tires. Indeed, they are putting on a new set of softs, so I think that will be the race gone for him, unless something dramatic happens. And I said before that nothing more dramatic will happen. Here we are now. Yeah, as Darnell comes out, P8, behind his teammate. I think this position is where he was before the stop, so not much lost by him. But I think he maybe could have gained a lot more if he stayed out. Difficult to say. But now he's coming anyways. But this will be a huge victory for SLR Nicky if he makes this wet tires last. My goodness me, what a titanic battle for the lead here in the final few stages of the race. As we have also a couple of position changes at the back here. Nearly everyone has picked up a penalty apart from Race Roller, UK Beast Assassin, Sudana, Darnell and Division, so shout out to these guys. Really easy to make a mistake under these conditions. But yeah, they don't run wide in a lot of cases, so yeah, congrats to them. But maybe that will happen. If we approach now the last lap, we have to see where SLR Nicky is. Oh, I don't think this will be enough for him. I think this will be a painful final lap for him, as I think we'll see Race Roller get past him. But yeah, he had no pressure on his shoulders, as he had that 3 second penalty anyways. I think if it would have stayed wet, I think he would have held on to it. But now obviously the rain stopped, so yeah, as we see the gap coming down quite dramatically now. As we are blending out everything, thank you. Really great move from myself. As we have fastest lap changing and changing and changing. Now Van Doornhout, now Dylan. So yeah, the track is getting better. Unfortunate for SLR Nicky here, as we have this MP Motorsport cars fighting it out. They will also now approach the last lap. So we have Nicky. I think his wet tires will be crying at the moment, as Race Roller quite dramatically closes the gap, and we will stick on board with him. We will see how he will fly past SLR. It was worth a try, but at the end maybe it was clever, a little more clever to pit. Obviously he had nothing to lose, but he goes now round the outside. Race Roller takes the lead back again here, as he now comes to the final sector of this race. Really great race from him, as he only started in 6th position, as we have Nicky more tumbling down here. And here is the Race Roller. Masterclass from him here. Obviously the two individuals put themselves out of the race, but that's not his fault. He just drove his race calmly, steadily. As he comes across the line, our Race Roller wins the F2 feature race of Spa-Francorchamps. We have UK Beast Assassin coming home in 2nd place, and we have Ham and Nicky fighting it out for 3rd place. As Southerner takes 3rd, because 2 of them had penalties. Jam comes home in 6th. We have Darnell finishing in front of Jam because Jam had penalties. We have Van Dorn finishing in 8th. A great recovery also from him. And the only virtuosos will be disappointed, of course. Dylan P10, final point, and LP Smoke just outside the top 10. Wow, what a race we've seen. SLR, yeah. SLR, as Brunit says, SLR better than esports. Definitely, we had an unbelievable race here on our hands, as we have yellow flags in Sector 2. Yeah, Hypers, not a great race for him here, as I think he qualified last in qualifying, or 2nd last, and spun quite a few times. Mans also a last week's feature race winner, getting a bit of a front wing damage. But yeah, unbelievable race. Really excited for the feature race. As he comes across the line now, last week's race winner. It will be a win. And it didn't pay out for him this time, but yeah. In the feature race, he's got one more opportunity. As Hybris comes across the line now, and here we have it. Our F2 race is come to an end now. Yeah. Drivers today, SLR Van Dorn. I think there are a few picks for driver of today that we could make drive of today. Southerner also, great drive from him. Race Roller also pretty much went on top of the pack for at least 5 or 6 laps after Nicky passed him. But yeah, well deserved victory. A shame for Nicky there at the end. Just wasn't enough for him. Yeah. Really looking forward to the feature race. Also, quite a few penalties coming in, as we have Dylan fastest lap. So we had the pace in the dry, but the wet pace just wasn't there for him, unfortunately. Esports is trash this season, yeah. Esports, I'm following esports, yes. But, yeah. You can either hate or like esports. I think last year also was a bit better. But this year, I don't know, it's just the feeling isn't great. As we have a dry sprint race, Who's on reverse grid pole? Van Doren on reverse grid pole. Oof, unbelievable. That will be also a Titanic sprint race. As we have Jam in P2. Darnell, obviously furious, maybe with himself. In P3, Nicky P4. Try to also maybe get a bit of a move on, as he just missed out on that race victory. Maybe try to get on the podium now. Ham in P5, Southern in P6. You can be Success in P7 and Race Roller or race winner from the feature race in P8. With the telemetry on there. And yeah, drinking a bit of water here after quite a bit of a dramatic race, but yeah. My voice is okay, boys, so you don't need to worry about me. Just care about the drivers. They're going through some tough races. Yeah, obviously the rest of the grid from down, downwards. Did you say downwards? Yes, I think so. From P9 and lower. Yeah, I think that's correct. From P9 and lower, obviously the positions from the feature race. Dylan, for example, the fastest lap hold is still in 10th. So the only first 8 are shaken up, reverse grid, as they call it. But yeah, we need to see. I think complete dry conditions. Dylan, Crispy, the Unibertuzis look quick. Race Roller, a bit of a question mark if he can make it through the pack. He doesn't seem to have the quali pace, at least over one lap, to stick with the top guys, with the Unibertuzis and Dylan. He certainly had the rain pace, but the question is if he can keep this up. Now in the sprint race, we have 9 laps ahead of us. So we will see what happens. Just not a good weekend for him until now. Quali was nothing from him, and feature race also not. Last week's winner just can't find his rhythm, it seems. But yeah, as they now approach to the grid, as Lamadon pole position, Jam P2, second row. Darnell and Nicky try also to maybe have a bit of a look up the inside of turn 1 and try maybe to take the lead away. Obviously you have to wait till last car approaches the grid. As we have now 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go for the sprint race here in SLR F2. We have a good start from Belgium, holds the lead into turn 1 here. As there are a few position changes up all the way down the field. For example, OG James and Badgie Fan, the 2 MP Motorsport cars gained a place. Race Roller, the feature race winner, stayed in this place. So no position change there. We have up the hill now. SLR Jam tried to go around the outside of our reverse grid pole city here. Try to make it work as we have a couple of cars side by side here. Race Roller also involved as he loses 2 positions. to the pack there. As we have Darnell and Jam changing positions for P2 here. Also a bit further down the field. A few positions, and they're all in mediums. So no one trusting the softs here. All going for the mediums. As they are all now close together. Obviously, first lap of the race. But we have Van Dorn holding the lead from Jam, from Darnell, from Nicky, from Sylvaner, from UK Beast Assassin, from Ham, from Dylan, from Racer, and Crispy rounding out to the top 10. We have Badgie Fan falling down the order, so we need to see what happened to him here as he just spun it at the start of Sector 3. So I think that will be the sprint race gone for him. Unless a safety car comes out, of course. And Dylan also tried to make his way up the field. I think he will be very angry with that rain. And he just didn't have the rain pace, so... yeah, we will see if he has the pace in the dry. In quali it certainly looks so. Now we need to see if he can continue this into the sprint race. As we have Darnell, I think, quite close on Jam, as we have already a time penalty picked up by SLR Fanpest, so that is a shame for him. As we have Darnell, brilliant move around the outside here on Jam, as Jam tries to hold on to it, as Nicky also involved in that battle. Yes, we have the only Virtuosi going wide here of Crispy. So yeah, the Univirtuosi is really going for it in the opening laps. You try obviously to make up, try to forget the pain that they served in the feature race. And we have Van Dorn building that lead. But I think Darnell will catch up to him, as Darnell is just a good driver. Yeah, as Jam doesn't seem to have the rain pace, or at least the first 2 laps, as we have Fanpest and not Hypers. Fanpest spinning out, I think. He's also missing a bit of front wing. And we have Crispy now, the only Virtuosi driver. What's happened to him? I think he also spun it at the exit of, or on the approach to the 3rd sector. So also no points for him in this sprint race, unless safety car happens. As we have Darnell sets the fastest lap of the race. DRS enabled, of course, lap 3. Always when DRS gets enabled, unless there's a safety car or something. I think Darnell's looking great for an overtake on Van Dorn here. Our last week's sprint race winner. Tried to make it 2 in a row. As he maybe has a look up the inside, and no, he doesn't. He waits still a bit, as we have a duel for 11th place going on. Men's finally making some progress here. But he also has picked up a 3-second penalty. That wouldn't help him in the rest of the race, or at the end of the race I should say. Hypers also getting a 3-second time penalty, so we have quite a few 3-second time penalty. Quite a few 3-second time penalties coming in here. There's also Smoke 3-second penalty. So maybe the drivers have to adapt still to the dry conditions. They obviously had that in the qualifying, but oh, we have Van Dorn making a mistake here as Darnell goes through into the lead. We just saw that just the rear snapped out here of the left-hander. And we have Darnell through, takes the lead of this sprint race here in Spa-Francorchamps. Van Dorn maybe trying to counter it here as he goes to the bus stop chicane. doesn't counter it. Has to wait for the DRS. Straight as we have... Jam. Huh? What happened there? Jam absolutely smashes it to the wall. Just going straight on. Yeah, maybe his brake pedals or something like that were gone. That's interesting. Anyway, we have Van Dorn closing up the rear. Oh yeah, till hello. Van Dorn here around the outside of Darnell, and he retakes his lead. Nicely done by Van Dorn here. Maybe he made a mistake on purpose. I don't think he has, but if he has so, that will be a strategic masterclass from him, as we have smoke spinning out on the straight. So yeah. Oh, as he again spins into the wall. So the Premas, no points for them in the sprint race. So much happening again in the sprint race, unbelievable. We have Darnell on the back of Van Dorn. So neither of those two drivers want to give up, of course. As we're now approaching halfway distance. Darnell maybe try to make a move into the Bachsop chicane, or he will wait like Van Dorn and go through on the start-finish straight, or not start-finish straight, on the second DRS straight. As he now goes round the outside, a fast left-hander here. That would be brilliant if he pulls this move off. No, just a meter or two missing. As they are now SLR Nicky, and we have three-way battle for the lead here. Very, very interesting, as we have Van Dorn sets the fastest of the race at 1:56.4. Yeah, we need to see if Darnell can hook up the move now, as we have Crispy given up, and I think... Oh no, he doesn't retire in the pit actually, he spun it. On the approach to the third sector, we have a virtual safety car out. So no attack from Darnell. Such a shame for him now, as he can't pass obviously on the virtual safety car. The MP drivers obviously had a bit of a... No, not the MP drivers. The only Virtuosi drivers obviously had a bit of a story with the virtual safety car. Feature race, drive through penalty and so on. So, Darnell, I think he will be very careful with the virtual safety car delta now. As I think nobody picks up a penalty. No, Darnell also does not pick up a penalty. They're all, I think, in pretty much the same gaps as they were before. Maybe a Southerner close up a bit on them, but I think they were all quite alright here, all the same gaps as we had before. We need to see if Darnell can pass them on the long straight now, as we have yellow flags again. Hypers is out, spun it in the chicane. So also quite a disappointing weekend I should say, for Hypers here. Just couldn't find a foot into the weekend here. Just can't race his rhythm, or couldn't race his rhythm. As I think the battle slows the front runners down a bit, as Southerner Dylan and UKB's Assassin are, I think, closing up a bit. So yeah, they don't obviously can battle too much. Otherwise they will allow others in, and they will battle also for the lead. We have already a three-way fight for the lead here, as Darnell pulls out the slipstream now, goes alongside, and they may be three right into the chicane. Now we have to see who comes out in front. It's Darnell that takes P1 here in front of Nicky. Van Dorn goes all the way down from first to third, and Darnell from First. No, I'm confused. Who was first? I don't know. But Darnell takes the lead. That's a fact. We have Nicky in second and Van Dorn in third. I think he went from first to third. I think so. As Nicky, I think, also picked up a place. That's interesting. Either way, we have Darnell leading. We need to see if he can now pull that gap to Nicky. Again, can get out of the 1 second window. Break DRS. That will be crucial for his race. That will obviously mean that Nicky will not have DRS on him. And yeah, that will be pretty much race gone for SLR Nicky, as he has still Van Dorn behind. Obviously he wants to get back up there, as he now lost two places to the two in front of him. So then now maybe he will also think about the race win, but he is 1.2 seconds away from SLR Van Dorn. So out of DRS, UKB Succession is in his DRS, so is Dylan, Division and Race Roller. So we have quite a bit of a DRS train here. Race Roller, I don't know if his dry pace is there. Well, it's difficult to say, because in the qualifying it was also dry. He was only 6th. You would expect the championship year to do better in qualifying. But we have the battle for the lead here side by side, as Nicky takes the lead of the Grand Prix. So maybe a bit of a redemption here for the feature race. But yeah, as I want to finish the sentence here, it's a Race Roller. I don't know. You would expect more from a championship leader than 6th in quali in dry conditions here. But he made up for it in the race, which was obviously wet. And now again on dry conditions, he doesn't seem to have that much pace as we have Fempest, I think, out in the grass. Yes, oh, he's losing. He's lost his whole front ring here. Unfortunate for him here, as we have the two Dams cars in last place. So we are now back up the front edge with the now picking up a 3-second penalty. Oh no! That is crucial for the race, as we have Division and Dylan fighting it out here side by side in the last sector. Division, I think, got Dylan here, as Race will try to get involved as well. Maybe going around the side. They're free right? No, they are not. Dylan tried to hang on to it, but Division defends well into the bus stop chicane. Race runner maybe gets a bit of a run here, as they come now to turn 1, and Division holds its place. I think there will be no side-by-side action into the rules. I think they will also know this, that is not so good going side-by-side through a Rouge. But here you go, another round at the front. Donner obviously needs to, if he wants to win this race, he needs to pull out of the race, which he does, and goes through into the lead. But I think it will be very difficult for him. He will maybe drop even behind UKB's Assassin, but he's also having a battle with Cylinder. So I think podium is still in sight, or podium is still possible, but he obviously needs to get a move on now. He can't sit back, and he needs to go full pace, full throttle now. I think someone spun it now, but I can't tell you which driver it was. Yeah, where was I? He obviously can't lean back now. He needs to get his pedal to the metal now. And I don't think he will get out of... he will pull 3 seconds to Nicky and Van Dorn. But the podium is still possible for him. As we have quite a few battles going on still. As we have yellow flags in Sector 2. I think it's dodgy, yes, that spun around at the exit of the left-hander, I think, yes. It will be also important crucial to see which one can take the race victory. If it's Nicky, there will be absolute redemption for him. Van Doorn obviously also interested in that race victory, but he needs to pass. Obviously Nicky, Darnell is not in that fight anymore. He has ridden himself off with that penalty. As UK Beast Assassin gets a 3-second penalty, so I think that's the podium pretty much guaranteed now for Darnell. And I think UK Beast Assassin will drop a few positions as the division goes side by side with Race Roller here. Be careful, guys. It's the final lap of the race, but they're having a great duel here. In the middle sector here. Division tries to obviously cover off Race Roller, but Race Roller doing brilliantly to attack here. Obviously Division great in defending as well. And he just holds on to it. Dylan also in that fight. So yeah, we need to watch this battle for sure. But we need to also have the front. We have to look after the front, guys. As we have yellow flags again. I don't know which part it was. As Mans picks up a 3-second penalty. Shame for him, but he's not in points anyways. As we come now to the final straight, I think Nicky will win this one. That will be redemption for him. Absolute masterclass from Nicky. As the feature race victory just wasn't quite there. Wrong strategy decision, but this time he will come through and win the feature race of Spa-Francorchamps as Van Doorn finishes second and Darnell, as I said, finishes in third place. As we have a nice duel here between those three drivers from 6th to 8th. Division, Race Roller and Dylan. Division just holds on to it in front of Race Roller and Dylan. UK Beast Assassin finishes 5th. Cylinder finishes 4th. Division, as I said, in 6th. Race Roller in P7. And rounding out the top 8, the final points position is SLR Dylan. SLR Dylan. Okay. Men's missing out on the points, but I think it's a good recovery drive from him. As Hypers, LP Smoke, Crispy and Sam Jam couldn't finish the race. So, sorry, they'll obviously try to make up for it in the next round. As Tempest now comes to the last bus stop chicane, he will take the checkered flag as in 14th place just crashes it a bit on the run to the line, but doesn't make a difference anyways. Division from the game, fastest, or not fastest driver, driver of the day. There you go. Yeah, obviously we obviously inviting the top 3 drivers from the whole weekend now, and we need to see what they have to say. As Race Roller wins the weekend, As I invited, so I think as I invited every driver now. Can you all guys hear me?
Okay.
Then UKB's assassin is in as well, so take your boxes, guys.
Yep.
And yeah, then we will start with UKB's assassin, who came third overall on this weekend. So congrats to you. It was a tricky weekend. We had dry qualifying, we had wet race, and then a completely dry sprint race. And yeah, just talk us through it. How difficult was it?
Yeah, the feature was a tricky one in the wet conditions. I'm normally pretty slow in those conditions, but actually found some pace for once. Benefited from both the UNIs getting drive-throughs, which was very nice of them to do. Roller, I'm sure, is happy about that one as well. And yeah, P2 in the feature. I couldn't ask for much more, to be honest. And then the sprint, a late penalty costing me one position, but again, couldn't really get any better than fourth anyway, so not too disheartened by the penalty. But yeah, overall, decent weekend.
All right, thank you very much, then. Brilliant job by you. As we come now to the second place driver overall this weekend, SLR Nikki. Quite unfortunate first race for you, as you took the race lead from Race Roller, and you seemed to have the pace advantage over him, but then it stopped raining, and yeah, that's where it all gone wrong for you. But redemption for you in the feature in the sprint race.
Yeah, the feature. Well, you all saw that basically the Norris there, but yeah, the couple penalties ruined it. So I thought that I don't have anything to lose. So I thought I'd stay out there. Luckily, the front left didn't die like the front right, but yeah, I managed to bring the car home at P6. That was pretty surprising at the end. But yeah, the sprint race was pretty good. Now that I had the pace, practice a lot this weekend. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. It was pretty good racing, and yeah, hopefully I can keep this up next week.
All right, thank you very much. Our second place driver SLR Nikki overall from that weekend. As we have Race Roller coming out on top of this weekend here. So congrats to you. You were only sixth in that qualifying session. So yeah, the Univertrosis got the better of you in quali, but then they obviously took themselves out with the drive-through penalties in the feature race, and then you made the right strategy call, gone to the dry tires at the end there, and took the feature race victory. Yeah, how was it out there for you?
Yeah, qualifying was a bit of a disaster. I mean, I've been going a lot quicker in practice and then just made a few mistakes. So, sick was pretty disappointing. And then, feature race, I really shouldn't have won that at all. Dano was like second lap quicker, Crispy was a bit quicker as well. And obviously, they got the drive throughs, so that sort of took them out of it. And then, pretty much everyone behind me was quicker as well, so especially Nicky, which was a bit worrying because I thought I was going to throw out the 3 second penalty that he had. Then the rain came, and then I was like, okay, I might as well try and pit because I've got nothing to lose otherwise. And then Nicky tried to stay out and probably would have got a podium if it weren't for a puncture and the penalties. But yeah, pretty lucky win from the feature, I'll be honest. And then the sprint got pretty lucky again because if Jan's wheel didn't fail and then if Ham didn't crash, then I wouldn't have got any points at all. And again, I was slower than pretty much everyone around me, so I was probably quite lucky to get a couple of points out of that. But yeah, I think I've extended my championship lead by at least a wee bit, so I can't really complain about it all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Obviously, quite unfortunate weekend for the Univertrosi drivers, but they can make up for it. They can make another step towards the championship, or take the championship lead away from you. In the next week, we are already back with F2 Racing here. Tomorrow we have Division 1 Racing, so make sure you all tune in there. And yeah, see you guys around next time.